恭喜發財! Hello everyone, welcome to the Beer Garden. Today we will be talking about the Chinese New Year meeting on Thursday at Sha Tin in our show. So maybe before talking about the huge jackpot for the triple trio, let's talk about something about the Chinese New Year because I just had a very enjoyable dinner with my family. But how do people celebrate Chinese New Year in other countries? Sarah, how do people in your place to celebrate Chinese New Year, or do you have any greetings to the Hong Kong audience?
Oh, yes. Happy New Year, everybody. It's the year of the tiger, which excites me because I was born in '86, which was the year of the tiger as well. When I lived in New York, it was really neat to go down into Chinatown or Flushing and see all the celebrations going on. I'm a big foodie, so I was all about seeing the celebrations and these gatherings with these most amazing meals. But unfortunately, I don't know too much about all of the celebrations and all that it means. So it's definitely something I look forward to learning about.
Yeah, cool. I also think that the people, maybe some Chinese living in the foreign country, they like to celebrate the Chinese New Year in the Chinatown, the atmosphere. I think that would be really great. But Steve, how about your place? How do the people celebrate this festival in your place?
Yeah, Kung Hei Fat Choi, everyone, first of all. Yes, to be honest, it's not something that I'm too aware of where I live in Edinburgh, but I was actually having a read of it last night about how it's 16 days, the Lantern Festival at the end, but the first 7 is a public holiday, and that's over in China. And then I got really quite enthusiastic and started reading that they have dumplings in the north and Tanyuan in the south, I believe. So yeah, that of course it's the crossover, isn't it, between the Year of the Tiger and last year was the Year of the Ox. So I think so. But yeah, fascinating. But yes, where I am living at the moment, it's not something that you really see a great deal of. Maybe next year I'll have to go and find it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, now that we're doing the beer garden, I'll just have to go and knock on some people's doors and say, "Can I join in?"
Yeah, that's cool, Steve. And Joe, are you going to sing a Chinese New Year song to the Hong Kong audience?
No, I'm not going to sing a Chinese New Year song. But yeah, it's always very interesting to see a lot of seeing the celebrations of Chinese New Year, especially since I work at a casino. So you'll see a lot of we used to have the festival, like the lion dance, and then you pretty much follow the lion around the casinos and watch them perform. But mostly is seeing especially since we have Sha Tin this week, a lot of people gambling. So I know that that's probably a big part of tradition, and I know that with Hong Kong we're expected to have a lot of big pools. But yeah, especially with Chinese New Year, always try to celebrate it as well because I have a lot of Chinese friends here. So yeah, always looking forward to Chinese New Year, and much different than our New Year. But to everybody that's watching, gong hai, gong hai, gong hai.
Gong hei, it should be gong hei.
Oh, gong hei, gong hai, gong hei. I hear gong hai, so that's why I'm like, oh. Unless it's a different dialect, yeah.
Yeah, a different meaning actually. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why I was too nervous to say it. I was like, I'm gonna screw it up. I don't want to. It's gonna come out odd and it'll mean something different. But
yeah. No worries, but I'm not gonna to cut this part of our video. So maybe let's jump to the Triple Trio on Thursday, because this time on this special festival for Hong Kong or for the Chinese people, there will be a huge jackpot for the Triple Trio in a total number of 10.5 million, and the estimated dividend will be 18 million for Hong Kong dollar for the Triple Trios. So let's talk about the first leg. That will be race 5. It is a Class 4 race over 1,400 meters. So maybe today each of us will have 2 selections in each leg of the Triple Trio. So let me ask Sarah first. Sarah, who do you like in race 5?
My first pick is the 5 Country Boy with Alexi Bedell aboard, kind of jumping out of barrier 3. He's been closing in on another win. He got a win back at Sha Tin early December with Alexi aboard, going 1,200 meters. So he's going to be stretching out, but he's just been a consistent horse. He is, getting a bit of a weight break, which is going to help out. But I just think his consistency over the Sha Tin track is going to really show up well here. He's going to show great form stretching out that extra 200 meters. My second pick, I went with the number 9 Solar Partner with Moreira aboard, which you can't go wrong with Moreira. He's just been improving over the Sha Tin course since making his debut at the end of, or towards the end of last year. His recent race experience, I believe, is really going to show his strength here. Racing this 1400 meter distance yet again. He tried it out early January and just kind of didn't have a great turn of foot. Got a 4th place finish, so not awful. But I think with Moreira aboard, he's really going to drive this horse into a really nice run. So I'll be interested to see how his victory plays out.
Yes, so in race 5, Sara's selection will be including number 5, Country Boy, and number 9, Solar Partner. And Steve, how about you? Who do you like?
My first choice was number 4, Science Patch, also drawn for under Zach Purton. He's a likely racehorse. I very nearly tipped him the last time. I picked Country Boy instead when Country Boy was 3rd to Golden Empire. And it was Silence Patch ran a nice race. He was back in 6th place. In fact, if you go back to his debut, he was 5th behind 4 very nice horses, and they were Master Rate, the Golden Scenery, Team Spirit, and Gallant Express. Obviously, the likes of Master Rate and Golden Scenery have really gone on to greater things, whereas Science Patch is still waiting for his first win. But he's a nice horse, and it's interesting that Zach Purton has taken the ride as well. The second choice was number 1, Soaring Tower, and that's also drawn one. Also a nice horse. I thought he was fairly interesting. He was a winner on debut, and he returned to form the last twice. The latest was a decent midfield finish behind Kazi Varazi, Karis Teton on board. So good chance. I kind of looked at Country Boy, but once again, he's got a tough barrier. So for me, and he's also stepping up in trips, so I wasn't sure. Yes, so for me, it's like an American race, isn't it? Science Patch drawn 4, number 4, and Soaring Tower is number 1, drawn 1. These are the 2 for me.
Oh yes, such a coincidence that Steve's selection will be number 4, Science Patch, and number 1, Soaring Tower. And Joe, do you have similar thoughts?
Yeah, I have the same. I'm also with Steve on Soaring Tower with Karis Teton. He has the highest weight, but I think that drawn 1 isn't going to be a problem for him because he will be probably coming in late on the piece, but he's had some pretty strong performances. This is his 3rd up from a spell. So if you go back a little bit to around 2020 at the end, he was fairly consistent, had a win in the 2nd, and then has some very bad runs, and now he's trying to get back into form. I actually took also down on the bottom Lucky Marinol, number 14, with Daniel Moore. She's been performing pretty well, and she's been going down in the ratings. So I think that they're both drawn right next to each other, 1 and 2. And if you look at Lucky Marinol's form she's had against Stormtrooper, Alloy King, Spicy Grill, Jade Theater, all these horses that have also had a lot of wins after when they've raced against Lucky Marinol. So I'm going to take another chance with something towards the bottom. The Australian market's showing $6.50, so maybe she could run into the placings. But yeah, I think those 2 for me, Lucky Marinol and also Soaring Tower.
Yes, for Joe's selection, that will be from Gate 1 and Gate 2. That will be number 1, Soaring Tower, and number 14, Lucky Marilot. And for me, my first choice will be number 3, Jade Phoenix, because he has the consistency to come across from Gate 8, and he will be hopefully getting the rail first, which will be also his best riding tactic. And last time out, I was a bit disappointed with his performance, but maybe a mile was too long for him. So this time back to 1400 meters is a correct move. Also, I just checked his weight. He just dropped 23 pounds with some intensive training recently, and I think that it is a good sign. He had an impressive barrier trial at Chongfa on January 20th, and I think that Jade Phoenix will be able to bounce back on Thursday. And my second pick will be number 9, Solar Partner. Sarah just mentioned a lot about his advantages. He is quite a lightly raised 4-year-old and still improving. He always finished close in his previous 4 starts, and this time, although I think that jumping from Gate 11 would be a bit difficult, I hope that Joe Morera on board can overcome it. So maybe it is not easy for him to break maiden, but I think that he should be included in the triple trio selections. So to sum up the first leg of the triple trio, we include the horses number 1, Soaring Tower, number 3, Jade Phoenix, number 4, Science Patch, number 5, Country Boy, number 9, Solar Partner, and number 14, Lucky Maryland. I think that's such a tough card on the 3 legs of the triple trio. So let's jump to the second leg. That will be race 6. That will be a class 4 over 2,000 meters. Sarah, who do you like?
First horse I like is the 9 Legion of Merit, jumping from barrier 10 with Derek aboard. He's coming off of a victory at Happy Valley at the 2,200 meter distance, and a really, really beautiful race he put in there, but he did perform fairly well over Sha Tin at the end of December, going, the 1,800 meter distance. He did have a bit of an awkward run at the beginning of that race, and kind of even coming into this stretch, I just felt like, he couldn't quite get his footing where he wanted it to be. But he did get a close second. So you can't really he did kind of make up for that. So I think, now he's going to this 2,000 meter distance. He's going to perform just well. I would say my only concern with this horse is I'm not excited about the barrier draw. I think this horse favors more of an interior draw instead of being barrier 10, but I still think that he's going to have quite a nice ride. And the other horse I like is number 1, Amazing Teen, which is jumping out of barrier 4, which this horse has really been unbelievable, to be honest. I think he's just going to be chasing the pace of this race. He's coming off of a pretty decent. He's raced against a lot of company here before. He's raced against, Legion. He's raced against Champion Pal, and he's raced against Victorious Seeker, who all have gone on and done very well, in races between that. But we got Borges aboard. He rode this horse to a victory on December 5th, and a very, very impressive ride, I felt, at the 1,800 meter distance. I think stretching out, you're going to see quite a lot of extra performance out of this. I just think he's going to need to kind of hold off to make that move just a little bit later than usual, which should be no problem. Borges knows this horse. So number 9, Legion of Merit, jumping out of barrier 10, and number 1, Amazing Teams, jumping out of barrier 5 for me.
Yes, I agree. For Sarah's 2 selection, number 9, Legion of Merit, and number 1, Amazing Teens, these are 2 stayers with quite good recent form. I'm quite looking forward to them. And Steve, how about you? Who do you like?
First choice I went for was Super Hong Kong, number 12, drawn 3 into Karis Teeson. He won at Happy Valley on his penultimate start, and he was up in grade last time to this grade, class 4. Didn't disgrace himself. And I think he has another good chance off an unchanged mark, as I said, with Karis Teeson taking over from Matthew Poon. And the other one I thought was interesting was Big Brook, number 7, drawn 1 on the rail with Joe Morera. He's also an interesting horse. He's yet to win, probably a career best. 2 starts back, went 3rd to Cordyceps 2. And then last time he was 8th to Darcy Joy, which wasn't a bad run. That was under Luke Ferraris. And he gives the impression that he might appreciate this this trip. So these are the 2 for me, Super Hong Kong and Big Brook.
Yes, right. For Steve's selection, both are quite good selection. Number 12, Super Hong Kong, and number 7, Big Brook especially. I think that Big Brook will be ridden by Joe Moreva. I will be looking forward to him. And Joe, who do you like?
I went with, so I took a little different approach because we are trying to get something into the seconds and thirds. So I did take number 6, Victorious Seeker, who has a course and distance win back in November of 2021 with Derek Lung, but now he gets Alex Hamlin on, and he's drawn number 4. He showed a lot of, in that race when he won, he showed a lot of power trying to stay off all the other ones that were trying to get to him, but then ever since then he hasn't had a great one since. So maybe the writing's on the wall that he could probably bounce back and get a win, but you're looking at a big price at $21. Also down the bottom, number 14, Mr. Monte with Victor Wong. This horse is going to have no weight on his back, so this is going to be interesting because if you look at his last 2 wins, which was on the New Year's Day and then also in October 1st, $61, $41. This horse likes to win at big odds, so I'd take a big chance with him. He's got a second in the distance, but this was back in 2020. But I think that something at a big price that could potentially upset the triple trio, I think down the bottom, but he is going up in class. That's why he doesn't have a lot of weight. But that is an interesting thing for me as far as prices go for this race. So number 6, and that is with Alex Hamlin, Victoria's Secret. And then down the bottom, number 14, Mr. Monty, Victor Wong.
Yeah, for Joe's selection, number 6, Victoria's Secret, and number 14, Mr. Monty. I think that these two horses will be in good values, so it would be good for us to include them in the triple trio selections. And for me, I will with Sara again. I also like number 1, Amazing Teens, because I think that this time he will be jumping from gate 5 is much more better than last time out. So he will be easier to lead in a slow pace as well. So that will be a good chance for him to score another winner. Especially, I think that he is quite competitive in class 4. And my second selection will be the class dropper, number 2, Stimulation. Because last season, as we saw that this horse was down in class 4 with Christophe Soumillon on board, and he finished second here behind Above. So I think that he should be quite competitive here. He is not afraid of the top weights, but this time maybe gate 13 will be a bit difficult for him. But the jockey, Matthew Chadwick, knows the horse very well. So I'm quite looking forward to see him to have good result again, going down in class 4. So to sum up our selections in race 6, we include the horses number 1, Amazing Teens, number 2, Stimulation, number 6, Victoria's Secret, number 7, Big Brook, number 9, Legion of Merit, number 12, Super Hong Kong, and number 14, Mr. Monty. So let's talk about the final leg of the triple trio. That will be race 7. It is a class 3 race over 1400 meters. Sara, who do you like?
I like the 3, Silvestre with Pertin aboard. He's jumping out of barrier 1, which I think is going to sit perfect for this horse, as he does seem to perform a lot better when he's more towards that rail. Last time out, he just had a bit of an unlucky run, but he did come back and have a decent barrier trial showing really great form. He's just been improving quite a bit at this track and at this distance. So I definitely think it's worth a shot here to take on the 3, Silvestre. And I also think Pertin's going to be a big upgrade. Not that he hasn't had great jockeys, but I think Pertin's going to be able to strategize the race with this horse and really see if we can get a good victory out of him at this 1400 meters. The other horse I like is the 4, Craig Star with Harry Bentley, which we've seen Harry on this horse before, and he just seems to really know this horse. All 3 of his wins have come across at this track and at this distance. He's just kind of seemed to have fallen off of his form a bit the end of last year. But I think that we're trying out this new year. I like that we're keeping Bentley on. He's jumping from barrier 11, which is another barrier draw. I think it's going to benefit this horse in this field. Just hopefully this horse doesn't get caught behind traffic, which unfortunately he has the unluckiness to be doing that. But I think you're going to get great value on this horse, because I do see this horse coming back and starting out true to form. Like I've said, Bentley knows this horse in and out. So he's going to be able to really drive him here at this 1400 meter distance.
Yeah, right. For Sara's selection, number 3, Silvestre, and number 4, Craig Star. I especially like number 3 because the gate 1, I think that he can take advantage of the low draw, and I will be looking forward to him. And Steve, how about you? Who do you like?
I went for number 5, Horseline Bolt. He's drawn in number 3 under Blake Shin. He's running well in the main for trainer Douglas White. Surprisingly, he's never won in 15 local starts, but he's very consistent. He's been a runner-up 3 times, and he's been third 5 times. So he's been placed in more than half of his races. And he was an excellent third to Navas 2 last time over course and distance. And he was hampered in that race too, so you can mark up that effort. His mark tends to sort of hover around the 70 mark due to his consistency, and sooner or later the door is going to open for Usain Bolt. The other horse I like is Passion Spirit, number 8, drawn 8 under Matthew Poon, and he was near. He was second last time. He was 8th out of 9, but he wasn't beaten far in the race. He was slightly hampered, just beaten 2.5 lengths. And he's got good course and distance form. And he's interesting to see how he does with Matthew Poon on board for the first time. So that's my 2 horses. Number 5, Horseane Bolt, and number 8 is Compassion Spirit.
Yes, Steve's selection, number 5, Horseane Bolt, and number 8, Compassion Spirit. I think that because number 5, Horseane Bolt was quite unlucky last time out, and this time Black Shin will be on board again. Hopefully, he can have some good result on Thursday. And how about you, Joe?
I just want to mention real quick that I just saw that the triple trio jackpot's about 10 million Hong Kong dollars. So that's going to be a lot of money if you happen to hit this. Yeah, I went with number 1, Beauty Fit, with Joe Moreira. He is the class of the race, and he's won on him before back in 2021, but he hasn't really had any good performances since after that. He's had a couple of maybe like 1 second, and that was with Alexi Bedell, but then he had Wagner Borgs and just couldn't hit the board at all. So they're going to bring him back they're going to get reunited back with Joao Moreira again. So this is going to be interesting. And hopefully he does get into the top 3. Another one I picked was number 2, The Crown, with Casper Founds and Karis Teeton. He hasn't won a race in Hong Kong yet, but he won 2 in a row back as a 3-year-old in New Zealand. So probably he has trialed well, but his performances haven't gone up to par of what class he's in. So now they dropped him back from a class 2 to a class 3, and he is going to carry a top weight. But he does seem to hit the line pretty hard when he gets aboard. And when you look at some of the horses he's faced Naboo Attack, Duke Y, Lucky With You, Ready to Win. So looking forward to seeing this race, especially with those 2. I think the Crown could probably sneak in there, so that's why I included him. So it's number 1, Beauty Fit, and number 2, The Crown.
Yeah, so Joe will go for number 1, Beauty Fit, number 2, The Crown, the 2 horses with the highest rating in the field. And for me, I will be I will have a similar selection as Steve and Joe. So just a few points to add. I like number 1, Beauty Fit, and number 5, Horseane Bolt. For Beauty Fit, this time he will put on the blinkers for the first time, and hopefully this gear can help him to be more focused in racing. And for number 5, Horseane Bolt, as we just mentioned, because last time I was quite unlucky. He went 3rd behind Lavis 2, who is quite an informed 4-year-old. And then this time, Gate 3, again, he can have a good position with Black Shin on board. So to round up the final leg of the triple trio in race 7, we include horses number 1, Beauty Fit, number 2, The Crown, number 3, Sylvester, number 4, Craig Star, number 5, Horseane Bolt, and number 8, Compassion Spirit. So yes, Joe just mentioned that we have quite a big jackpot in the triple trio, and hopefully we can hit it. And let's talk about our best bet on Thursday at Sha Tin. Sarah, who is your best bet?
My best bet comes in at race 11, the class 2, over 1,800 meters, and I'm going to go with the 4, Senior Toba. We draws barrier 4. We got Moreira, of course, staying aboard. He's racing against familiar company, coming off of that victory on December 27th, in which, Charene, I believe that was your best bet for that night of racing, which was an unbelievable race. But I think dropping to this 1,800 meter distance, the only thing I think we need to see Moreira do is maybe just click into gear a little bit quicker so he doesn't get caught behind traffic, which he could do. Moreira, as we all know, is an unbelievable jockey. He is racing against a lot of older horses, but I think he has shown the strength that he can put up one heck of a fight. So I'm not worried at all about this. I am excited to see how he is going to be performing here. He just did a great barrier trial again, racing against another great horse such as Panfield. So this horse is known to just be consistent and just have that fighting power. So race 11, number 4, Senior Toba is my best bet.
Yeah, Sarah's best bet in the finale of the race 11, number 4, Senatober. He is planning to participate in the Hong Kong Derby in March. So I think that everything right now is going quite well for this horse. I'm quite looking forward to him. And Steve, how about you? Do you have your best bet in race 11 as well?
Yes, I did. I went for number 1, Beluga. He's a really, really nice horse. Matthew Chadwick on board, and he won really well last time. He's at the top of his game. It was an excellent victory. It was the Czech King handicap over Class 2, and he beat some really nice 4-year-old Classic Series horses, and I'm a Single Man, the Irishman, and Master Delight. He was off a mark of 84. He's gone up to 89. That still seems quite workable, and drawn 7's okay. He's got a fantastic record. He's 5 from 16. And in his last 10 runs, apart from one disappointing run, he's never been beaten more than 1 3/4 lengths. It's a fantastically consistent profile. He was also a winner 3 times in those 10 races. So for me, it's number 1, Beluga.
Yes, Steve's best bet on Thursday will be in race 11 as well. He likes number 1, Beluga. He's quite a consistent horse in this season at 5-year-old, and I'm quite looking forward to him carrying the top weight in this field. And Joe, what is your best bet?
My best bet comes in race number 10, which is over 1,200 meters, Class 3 race. I chose number 4, Flying Ace, with Matthew Poon. His last 2 races were pretty phenomenal when you go back and watch him. When he was in Happy Valley, he ran against, he was off the speed, and then all of a sudden he was getting blocked into traffic. And once Matthew Poon brought him out, he had full of run and he was able to catch up to the leaders. Now, the second race was actually even more interesting, because in that race, when you watch the replay, at about the straight, he got into position and got in ahead of everybody. Then he didn't even get asked. So at about the 100-meter mark, you see Matthew Poon started cracking the whip, and then look behind him, and he's like, "Oh, all these horses are coming." So he was able to hold them off. So with this horse actually looming up to another horse without even being asked, and then just started going on his own. 4-year-old, he does have potential. I'm looking forward to seeing him going to get a hat trick in this one. I only didn't like some of the other horses because we saw with Fafa, who was my best bet in the mile, that Hong Kong, the Happy Valley form didn't show up to Sha Tin, and Family Folks is the top rated horse in this one, and he's all the way from he's been racing a lot at Happy Valley. So I'm gonna go with number 4, Flying Ace, as my best bet with Matthew Poon.
Yes, right. For Joe's best bet will be in race 10, number 4, Flying Ace. Yes, right. That for horses that are quite difficult for them to have good form at Happy Valley, and then they switch to Sha Tin. They can also have this horse can also have some good results. That was really impressive for me, and I'm also quite looking forward to him. And for my best bet, it will be in the feature race for the day. That will be race 4, the Chinese New Year Cup over 1,400 meters. I like number 2, Lucky Express, because he's scored a winner on his seasonal debut in November under Zach Purton over this course and distance as well. And it was quite a brilliant ride for Zach indeed. And it also showed that the horse Lucky Express is very suitable for racing over 1,400 meters, especially with Zach on board. So this time still racing over this distance, this trip, and with Zach to be in the iron, I will be quite looking forward to number 2, Lucky Express in race 4, and hopefully he can win the Chinese New Year Cup on Thursday. So that's all for our show today. We included our selection in the very tough card of the Triple Trio and our best bet as well. Hopefully you enjoy our show, and hope you will have some good luck on Thursday and enjoy your Chinese New Year. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.